What's going on, everybody? My name's Patrick Wilson. I'm joined by my co-host Sam Wismer and special guest Jesse Bell, and this is the Pucking Flyers podcast.
You can say a whole bunch of things. At the end of the day, you have to show it.
And you want to get the fans going in your own building? Hit Crosby, and then he has a set of hands that are incredible.
Back through the legs, off the skate. Domi doesn't pick it up. Too much ice to cover for everybody.
A save by Hart. Wow.
He got right to left.
Incredible goal by Giroux. Watch this. Puck protection and elevates that shot.
Giroux walks through.
Oh my goodness. This is something special right here.
Be a Flyer.
Still need to change the logo. Still need to change up the video a little bit. We'll get into that during this off season. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pucking Flyers podcast. This is episode 16. For today's show, we have special guest Jesse Bell. We will be introducing him in just a second. We will then be going into the new coaches and possible head coaches for the future. We will also be going into Fedotov signing. Am I saying that right, Sam?
Ivan Feditov.
Feditov, okay. And then we will be doing a special mental health segment for this episode and next episode in 2 weeks, because we are going to be doing episodes every 2 weeks from now. So, Jesse, how are you doing, sir? It's good to finally meet you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Why don't you explain a little bit about yourself? Like, what do you do? How are you roped into the Flyers and all that?
So I think I'm like the newest media member of the Flyers this year. I own Old City Sports Network, and I'm the host of the Flyers Alley podcast on our network.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I definitely heard a lot about you. Sam talks about you a decent amount, and then I've seen you comment on our stuff, which I appreciate the support.
It's all good.
I'm really happy to have you on here. I'm ready to talk about some Flyers.
I hope so.
We got CEV Network in here. Shout out to them. They're actually the ones that got John and I started in this, but John is currently in Florida doing a NCAA golf tournament for his regional championships.
He really has the audacity. Just saying.
Says the one that missed last week.
Is that Philly? Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they're good guys.
Listen, I banged my head on the wall at CrossFit last week, and I was feeling quite sick. All right.
That Taco Bell dong, though, when you came in, amazing. I will never get over that. John did perfect with that.
I got choice words for that child. Anyway.
Oh, that was so funny. We got Wade and Gobi the Goblin as well. How's it going? Sammy looking mad.
Not Gobi.
Yeah, Wade's my co-host for Flyers Alley.
Oh, okay. Wade, welcome aboard. Welcome.
Gummy Wade, if you will. Oh man.
See, we don't even need John on this show to make
Sam I thought that was Gabi. Oh.
Nah.
Jeez. That guy took a lot of effort to make those letters capital and lowercase.
Carter Hart does not stink. Everyone needs to stop getting on Carter. You just had a couple
You should have added that to the list of things to talk about. We could talk about that, but
you could.
I mean, we still can. I know we've talked about it a couple times, but now that we got a new mind into it, we can definitely talk about that again. But why don't we go into the coaches first? So there are two new coaches. One is a player development, and I still don't even know who the other one is or what he does. Not even gonna lie.
Kyle Shiro.
Yeah. Do you guys know? Oh wait, isn't he like an amateur scout?
Yes, I believe he was.
He's supposed to be like an amateur scout. I don't even think he's out of high school yet. Now I'm thinking about it.
He was born in '98, apparently.
Okay, so he is out of high school, but
I'm trying to see.
He's gonna be 24.
Yeah.
He's an amateur scout for the Flyers. He from Westwood, Massachusetts. He's a senior at Connecticut College, majoring in economics and minoring in finance.
How did he get to be an amateur scout?
Amateur scout. He literally just started 3 months ago. He was a hockey ops intern at for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And
okay.
he was a he worked for he was a coach at Pro Ambitions Hockey Inc. 2 years ago. He's got some stuff going on, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
He's young. I mean, real young. So
Overseas? No, I don't think he's overseas. I think I want to say he's primarily in the New England area, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't think he was overseas.
he played 2 years. He played 2 leagues over the course of his career. There's not a lot on the guy, to be honest with you. I mean,
well, yeah, he's young. He's an amateur scout, and he doesn't really have too much of a resume. But I also think he's the grandson of someone who was big in the Flyers organization, which is probably another way how he got in. But who knows? I mean, if Chuck Fletcher is anything like Ron Hextall, he won't listen to him anyway. So
I think you probably needed the question is probably who hired him. That's the question I'd be asking. Because if it was a Danny B suggestion, then I'm kind of on board with it. But
okay, well, yeah, Rier's been doing great stuff for the Flyers since he's been hired on. Even before he was hired on, he's been doing a lot of great stuff. Probably a favor from the upper management. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I would say.
There really isn't too much on him.
No, we're good on him.
There was a player that was signed really late in the season on the Phantoms, Colin Felix. His dad was Chris. Sorry, guys.
My merch is burning that house down.
Yep. Chris Felix was the Phantoms athletic trainer from 1996 to 2004. He unfortunately passed away in 2018, and his son was actually signed really late, probably like a month ago in the season. And I believe Danny Briere had a lot to do with that signing. Colin actually played in a game, probably like the second to last game of the season. I tell you, the kid can throw down. The kid can fight.
Oh, I like that.
He can throw it down.
All right, I'm liking it. There you go, Sam.
I'm not cooking dinner.
Somebody's burning dinner.
That's what we just said.
There he is.
So yeah, we don't know too much about the amateur scout. What about? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not very prepared for today. What about the new?
He doesn't have a long injury history, so he can stay healthy.
Okay, that's good. What about the player development coach? I know he was a former Flyer.
Kapanen.
Kapanen. I mean,
that's more Jesse's realm.
Is he? Do you think he'd be better than Nick Schultz?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to pull up
anybody.
It's my realm, but like that name when I saw that when I got the email and it said that name, I thought it was a joke. Like I thought it was just like a coincidence of like who it was. I was like, there's no way in hell that like this could happen. But yeah, I mean, from Hockey DB, he was a Flyer from 2022 to 2008. Or no, 2002 to 2008. I mean, I don't know his coaching thing. He doesn't have too much coaching. I don't know. It's kind of an odd signing, I would say. I know they're trying to shake up, or they should be trying to shake up like the medical staff. I don't know I don't know why they're doing these kind of things here, but obviously they're trying to shake up the staff a little bit. This is kind of like a who the hell cares move, to be honest with you. I mean, I'll say it. You guys say it.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like a lot of the new coaching signs have been just kind of like, hey, grab this guy. Hey, grab that guy. Like you don't.
Right.
There isn't really much to them. So I don't know if they're just trying to get fresh people in here to try and get like a new system down just to see what they can do for next season, or like what is going on with it.
So after the allegations and such from those two trainers, with the medical issues due to the Zamboni thing, I'd be clearing house. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I wouldn't even cover it on our show because it's just not. I don't think it's relevant. But like after something like that, if I were up top, I would definitely just clear house completely and be like, "This is ridiculous." So just get rid of everyone, and that might have something to do with it.
We covered it on here only because I forced them to, but
yeah, I mean, it's just I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on it. I mean, I thought it was absolutely like, okay, well, you guys are the professionals down there with the stuff, so why? I mean, you should know how much you should be exposed to it, right? The last thing I think everyone's thinking about is if the Zamboni drivers or the Zamboni guys are healthier. So
yeah,
I just might be.
No, I definitely see where you're coming from with but yeah, who knows? Like everything just seems to be thrown out of nowhere, out of proportion, out of nowhere. Like just everything's just all mixed up in this and all messed up. I don't know where to really go with any of these new signs and whatnot because you don't know too much about them.
One of the guys from my work actually who watches Flyers Alley on the regular, Emery, just actually messaged me. He's a little bit older than me. So that Sammy Kapanen knows international players real well. It's a big plus for the Flyers. So
okay,
there's that.
All right, that's useful. That can be useful for us.
We're like dancing around it, like I don't really know what this guy's doing here, you know. But I remember the name, but I mean, like I said, I mean that's a while ago.
Yeah, I definitely know he was a former Flyer. That was really like the only thing I knew about him. But also when he played, I was kind of like 6 to 10 at the time. So yeah, I'm only 26.
Okay.
Just
okay. I'm gonna have 10 years on you this year.
literal children. Fine.
Wow.
I'm not a child. I act like one. I'm not a child though.
Sorry, you have a big boy job. I forgot.
We all got to do stuff sometime, right?
I do have a big boy job. Yeah. But okay, so Kapanen can help us out with the international guys. Hopefully he can help us with the player development of all the young players that hopefully can become prodigies in the near-ish future. Because we have a lot of them now. We have a lot of good prospects in the pool. I definitely want to see some action in the next few years. I'm not even putting that one up there. That's rude, Wade.
You have to. I'm dying.
I haven't even seen it. That's how we roll. Yes. I think it was 30. Yeah, once I had my first kid, that's when it happened.
No, he's talking about Pat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, Wade used to look like Leonardo DiCaprio from Gangs in New York when he was younger. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. That might be a little bit before your time. No.
Before mine, yes. I'm making Jesse feel so old. I'm sorry, dude.
I think I'm the oldest one on our network. So I mean, it's not anything. Now that we got rid of the Hobgoblin. Anyway.
Okay.
I can't tonight. Anyway. I have flowing red hair, Chris. What are you talking about?
Don't worry. Well, if I eventually go bald, I'll be the weird head shaped dude.
Gotta start somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. So we got the two new coaches that were hired, but now we still have an opening for the head coach since Fletcher announced that Mike Yeo is no longer going to be coming back. You guys mentioned a couple people already. Who do you think? I know Barry Trotz was one of them that you guys would like to see as head coach. Who else did you have?
I'm for Torts. I'd like to see Tortorella as coach. But also, who am I? I follow the minor league, right? Jesse, put your sound effects away.
Yes, I didn't know you had sound effects. Let's go.
Hi, Dan.
Oh, use them whenever you want. I don't care. Use them whenever you want. I'm happy about that. See, I don't want a big name coach. We did it the past 4 times.
You said that earlier. So who do you want? Who's a non big name coach that you would want?
See, that's the thing. I don't really know, to be honest with you.
You kind of want like a fresh face.
I want a fresh face, yeah, because the past 4 coaches that we've had have been big names that have been here that have like done decently the first year and then
Hackstall?
Horrible the next year and then gone.
What about Hackstall?
Oh yeah, he was here for a few years and then he was
a fresh face, came straight from college.
And I was okay with him. I didn't think he did bad.
All right.
No, you think differently?
He just wasn't the guy. His style of teaching was different than what we needed at the time.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was a bad coach.
I mean, I think he's gonna probably he won't be the coach of
Will someone please pay attention to the Goblin's comment, please, before he has a heart attack?
Wait, which one?
Is he texting you too?
No, he keeps talking about Dan Plisma. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Dan Plisma? No.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, it's because he's just not. He won't be it. He was a good coach. Took the Penguins through a couple cups.
Okay, that one I give you, Chris. That one I definitely give you.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I don't understand. I don't like the Fletcher hate. I just don't. It's the hate on Fletcher kind of just. It shows how simple the fan base is. It literally shows how ignorant the fan base is. I mean, if Ryan Ellis didn't get hurt, everybody would be singing a different tune, right? People get hurt.
Oh, probably, absolutely, they would be because the team would have been a lot better.
So, like the problem is, and sorry if I interrupted you. The breakdown of this season in a nutshell is basically Ryan Ellis got hurt. And you notice everybody else that was getting hurt, like Couturier. Then Couturier had back surgery. Let's see, Nate Thompson had shoulder surgery. Then you have what's his name? Kevin Hayes had that abdominal issue. People were getting hurt because you noticed that the defense died and everybody had to play back. So everyone's covering double coverage and everyone's getting hurt. So like that happens. So if you're gonna blame the goalie, I mean, I understand sometimes Carter Hart's got to make the save because he is the guy, regardless whether he wants to be the guy or he thinks that he's doing good or whatever. He did mediocre this year. He just the team failed because Ryan Ellis got hurt because they put so much effort or emphasis in Ryan Ellis being the guy, which he could have been. He got hurt and everything fell apart. So if that wouldn't have happened, Chuck Fletcher would be a saint right now. We'd be in the playoffs, and that's It would be what it would be, either a first round exit or a second round exit, because we weren't winning the Stanley Cup this year. But the fact that everyone blames Fletcher because Ryan Ellis got hurt, the last time I checked, Chuck Fletcher wasn't on the ice. Players got to play. You got to earn your paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still really happy with all of his signings from last year. I think once the team gets healthy and we can get like an established head coach, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like we'll make the playoffs consistently. We'll have chances for the cups when we add different players and remove different players that don't really work with the system. But like it was the first year and two of those guys got hurt right away that we traded. And then one came back and then got hurt again later in the season. Like it's just an unlucky season.
It's also crazy because it's Carter Hart's first full season as a Flyer. Most goalies take multiple years and they're usually into their mid-30s before they start getting their high caliber years under their belt. So
yeah, and he hasn't even hit his peak yet.
At all. So
Hart's what, 23, 24?
Mm-hmm. 23.
23, yeah. So he's got plenty of time.
You guys see that's what we do. So me, Anthony, and Wade on Flyers Alley, we literally look at everything that you see on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Reddit and everything, and you got to look who's what's that?
And laugh.
Well, yeah. I mean, dude, I attack people. I don't care. I mean, it's ridiculous because it's all most of the people that are saying these outlandish things. You can tell just by what they're saying that they know nothing of what they're talking about. I mean, now when Jordan Hall says something, it's time to listen. I mean, or when Jamie Baskow says something or someone else of a higher echelon, but like these armchair coaches are just they're the reason why people get chased out of town.
Yeah. We got this comment right here by CEV Network. Third coach under Fletch in 5 seasons. That what?
5 seasons. Yeah,
Chuck,
sure.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure he was here for 4, and this would be his considered his 5th.
He was in Minnesota. I think he's talking about Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota too.
Yeah, he was in Minnesota. That's where Mike Yeo came from. He brought him in from I think he worked for him in Minnesota. I'm not sure. But
okay.
Mike Yeo did come from Minnesota.
Yeah.
So I mean, it definitely seems like Chuck Fletcher enjoys switching his coaches up if they have one bad season. Which, I mean, I don't 100% agree with that. I'd rather have a head coach kind of get established, get a few years before we're like, okay, he had like 2 bad seasons in a row. Now we can get rid of him. But I mean, I want somebody to get
right.
Yeah. He hasn't been giving any head coach any time to really get established with the guys, understand how each of the guys play, even though they've had like a full year with them, but the teams constantly change.
Get a system going.
Maybe
exactly.
the AV thing may have been the whole what's his name down in Vegas that may have solidified that quick exit when what's his name? Robin Leonard said that he was dealing drugs to the players. Allegation like that comes out. That's almost he might as well quit then.
Yeah, I mean,
it definitely seems like the organization doesn't play around when it comes to like allegations of some sort.
They definitely don't. And that maniac Hextall. I mean, he didn't really he did some great things, but he also did some horrible things. Hextall.
He picked Nolan Patrick over freaking Cale Makar.
Cale Makar, who just hit like an overtime winner in the playoffs, who's been doing absolutely outstanding. Yeah.
That solidifies that conversation.
But I mean, Hextall knows his goalies, though. I'll give him that. He definitely knows his goalies. Because I mean, when Carter Hart gets established, and he gets like a few more years, gets a little bit more player development, in a few years, he'll be a solid goalie in the league. Also, when he gets a defense in front of him too.
Yeah, he won't be on the Flyers though when that happens, unfortunately.
Ooh, that might not make Sam or John happy.
It's just, it is what it is. I mean, what's funny is we got a new guy on Flyers Alley. His name's Anthony Verrasso. He's actually originally from Boston, and but he lives in North Dakota now. He's in radio there. He's got a solid take on I can't remember who it was, but it was someone for Carter Hart, and I do honestly think if next season Carter Hart doesn't make some serious moves, I think they'll ship him out. I mean, no one cares about the actual timeline. They care about what it looks like.
Yeah, a lot of the fans are getting really impatient because it's been mediocre year after year after year after year. They're getting really impatient. They want a good team and they want it now. Whether or not you get rid of all your draft picks to get a few good guys to make that team good now, that they don't care.
Well, that's what Chuck said in that last presser that came out. That he basically they're going to get their coach, which I honestly do think, like Sam was saying, I thought before the Barry Trotz information came out this morning that they were waiting to see what St. Louis was going to do in the playoffs and snag Jim Montgomery from them. He has probably the top hockey knowledge of anyone in the NHL right now, and he's not even a head coach. I've talked to a couple former players, and the amount of them that have brought his name up, it's astonishing. I didn't even know he existed, and he actually was. I believe he was a Flyer as well.
Well, I know after Jamie had put a tweet out about Jim Montgomery earlier this week, an article was written and it mentioned Jamie's name was up and down this article.
It's funny. Someone else broke that news. It's funny his name was on there. Sorry.
But Jamie's name was all over this article and taking some serious heat for breaking the news. And yeah, I was like, man, nitty gritty is 1 for 2 this month.
I might have to write an article now. Put my timeline on there.
1 for 2. Me for a quote. Jamie for breaking the news about head coach.
Stealing my thunder.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with the head coach because they haven't really announced anything yet. It didn't really seem like they had any real prospects yet, at least not any that were broken out to the news.
I think you'll probably find out by Thursday.
By Thursday, you think?
I would say, yeah, because I mean, right now, I know the Devils are heavily looking at him, but with the process of that, I was explaining it to a couple people in the network earlier. They still haven't fired Lindy Ruff yet, and I know that was a big thing that they were going to try to figure out in the off season. And the fact that Barry Trotz became available as soon as he did, I think that it's going to have to, kind of, accelerate that process a little bit.
Anyway, moving on.
Move on. But yeah, I think that it's up between the Flyers. Actually, they said it on the NHL Network when I came in from work today around like 3:30 that the 2 top teams that are looking like they're gonna try to get Barry Trotz are the Devils and the Flyers, but they have to still fire Lindy Ruff, which will be they still have to listen to him whine and complain about how he still wants to be coached there. By then, the Flyers can already seal the deal. Plus, he's a defensive coach, and that's what they need. So I think he goes to the Flyers.
Okay.
Pat, there is something that we forgot we should talk about, unless you talked about it last week. Sam Marin.
Oh, I did not.
The news broke last week that Sam Marin's career is officially done and over.
Yeah, but one good thing about that is the Flyers are definitely going to try and get him in the organization still somehow, some way, because he has a lot of heart and he absolutely loves it here in Philly.
When I was talking with Jamie about this last week, he can see them sending him down to the Phantoms to be a defensive coach.
I'd be okay with that. He can teach them how to be tough.
I would absolutely be okay with that. Yeah. I would love to see Sam down there.
I see a big smirk on Jesse's face. I don't know if he's reading the old comment about Lance Green or.
No, I'm done with it. If I read that again, I'll get in trouble. But I mean, it's pretty obvious he's gonna get it. The Phantoms. I mean, you don't need a fucking crystal ball to see that. But it's just unfortunate. I had a lot of stock in that kid, and it really sucked. I mean, yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due, Sam. And I know you don't want to do it, but they were right. Who was it? Snow, the goalie, when they said that at the beginning of the season, called out Riley Cote.
They were right.
I can't believe they were right. They said his season was over. It was a career-ending injury, and they said that it wasn't. And actually, I can't believe they were right.
I will always give credit where credit was due, and Aunt Sam was right.
Oh, I wasn't calling you out. I was just saying it's unfortunate that I think we have to give them credit. So,
it's unfortunate, but yes, we have to give them credit.
Took a lot for me to do that.
Yeah, Sam Oren was one hell of a player. He was a big body. He knew how to use it. He was a great defender too. Like
I have sorry, Pat. I have a video on my phone, and this is from 2018. There was a fight that Sam got into, and I believe it was Mike Avellini.
Oh, where he's just throwing him everywhere.
Where he's slamming him on the ice.
Just picking him up and just slamming him.
I was just talking with somebody. I was just talking with somebody this the other day, and I was like, "Yeah." It was actually the day that he got I guess you could say he retired. I showed people that fight. I love the fighting in hockey. I'm a huge advocate for the enforcers coming back and everything. That was a little much. Yeah, he was literally just picking the kid up and slamming him on the ice. Like it's a little much.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe
it's still exciting to see.
Go to Ice Wars, maybe. Maybe you can go to Ice Wars. Yeah. Maybe you could do that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. After watching the Flyers be so soft for so long, seeing that kind of like sparked me again.
That's why everyone liked McEwen so much. McEwen's the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got. McEwen was born to be a Flyer. Sam Morin was born to be a Flyer. Cam Atkinson, all three of them were born to be Flyers. They really were. The city absolutely loves all three of them. And
I love Sam. I love Sam, Cam, Zach. Zach. I didn't think I'd like Zach, but Zach grew on me throughout the season.
Yeah, they better re-sign Zach. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, if they don't do that, you're gonna. I don't know. Man.
This
Flyers Alley will no longer exist.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Because if you think about it, really, I mean, then it took a lot longer than I expected. The fan base and the media, well, not the media, more of the fan base to turn on Zach McEwen, and they did. They did turn on him eventually, saying that he was in the penalty box too much and he wasn't scoring and this and that. How are you supposed to score when you're on like the fourth or third line? He should have been on the second line the entire season.
That's one thing I hate about this fan base is they care more about points than they do about like the point of you being on the team.
Yeah.
McEwen's not on the team to score goals and get assists and get points. He's there to be the tough guy, the grit guy, the enforcer, the forechecker.
He's an established. You gotta always remember this. Frank Bialis is a good friend of mine. He told me this a long time ago. Is that everybody forgets that even though we're enforcers, we are professional hockey players. Like Ryan Reeves, he can score. He can score, but Tom Wilson, he's the first round draft pick. Like Tom Wilson can play hockey. He can also beat the living hell out of you. But Zach McEwen can play. Where he's from, Prince Edward Island. That's a pretty established hockey town. Actually has some of the nicest people in the world there too. So I mean, he's a nice kid. I had the privilege of talking to him at the beginning of the season. He's a nice kid. But to see him go out there and just I still think he kicked Tom Wilson's ass, and I'll take that to hell with me. But
the comment that Chris said about Nick Seeler.
That's my boy.
I was there for that game in person when Nick Seeler literally picked that ref up and just threw him out of the way, the ref was like,
Yeah, I can't believe he didn't get thrown out of the game for that.
the ref was like, I'm going to support you from over here.
Well, that's the type of people too. Like guys like that, and in the media have a real big issue with him. These type of guys like Nick Seeler that have so much heart, but they're not putting points up. They don't care about the plus minuses. They don't care about the points. They're out there doing what they're supposed to with what he was doing, you know. And I'm a huge advocate for Nick Seeler. So I mean, these are the type of guys that you need on the team next year. And I mean, it's just that's the way I see it.
And then you also have guys like Wade Allison who also can throw down when he wants to.
He needs to stay the fuck healthy is what he needs to do. Let me give you started on him. Me and him have been riding me and that man
classic John.
What's that?
I'm gonna pull a classic John here.
They do that because he gets hurt often. You blow on him and he gets
Dude,
hurt.
let me tell you something. Me and that kid have been riding the train for a long time here, and I don't know. Every time I talk to him, he's like, "Oh, I'm hurt again." I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck happened now?" Oh, I got stepped on. I'm like, what do you mean? He sends me this picture of this hole in his arm. I'm like, oh my god. And then he's like, my back hurts, but I'm still playing. I'm like, dude, you've got that. I think the last thing I said to him, we'll talk a little bit during off season, but he said, yeah, I need the rest. I need the rest. He's just the kid's an animal. He needs the rest. Like he's hurt. I mean, he's a beast. But that was he was one of the people that Chuck Fletcher said him and Tanner Lazinski, they're number 1 and number 2 on the list of the guys that Chuck Fletcher want to start on Flyers next year. So
if we can get them healthy, I'll take them.
Tanner will be healthy.
We'll see.
I am banking on Lazinski.
Jesse and I are like
the lineup of guys that were in the press box first time I walked in there. I'm like, you guys are all hurt. They're all hurt. What do you mean? First game of the season, they're all hurt. What are you guys doing? What are they doing?
Well,
man, what are they doing? You're an insider. What are they doing?
Well, Lazinski had 2 hip surgeries in less than a year.
It's like 18 years old. What do you mean?
He's 25.
Oh my god. Still,
and then he
25. You got 2 hip surgeries.
Then he did something to his finger like the second to last game. Oh my god, the gun is back. Great.
Shots fired.
Chris, can you please leave Tanner alone.
You gotta give these people. You gotta understand that, man. All these guys that have been these. I mean, we've been Flyers Alley. We don't do it anymore because we're just totally different than we were when we started. We did huge episodes on Tanner, Wyatt, Wade Allison, Ronnie Adhd, Everett Carter Hart. We did We did a 2.5 hour episode when these guys got finally signed, but then they went their separate ways, and now they're coming back to us. They're all hurt. Well, they were all hurt this year. I mean, with Ronnie Adhd, they needed to come in. I'm not sold on Bobby Brink. He's too small. He's going to make the squad. Noah Cates is awesome. The entire Cates family is amazing. I mean, that's just how that is. I don't know. It's tough. People have a right to be mad at these kids.
Yeah, that one game where Cates scored those 2 deflection goals, I was rock hard for him. I was like, we need that.
That's Anthony on our show. He loves the Cates. He loves the Cates family, especially Noah.
I mean, I still think Cates, Brink, and like a lot of the new guys that we brought up this year should go to the AHL for a year and train down there, and then maybe like 1 or 2, bounce up when we need them if somebody's injured and whatnot. But
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just want a lot of those guys down there for a solid year. Develop them, get them used to like the AHL speed, so it's an easier transition to the NHL when they're ready.
Well, that's so what's this? So I agree with that. I think the only one that really needs to go down is Adhd. He's just kind of off the
very lost.
Yeah, he's a little off the rails a little bit. Need to be reined in. I think Cates could start. I think Brink could start. I think York is a shoe-in. If they don't start him next year, that would be stupid. I mean,
I want York and Frost in the NHL.
Frost is going to be in the NHL. I think now that Giroux's gone, I think him coming out of the shadow of Claude Giroux you're going to see some things that you started seeing it towards the end of the year. That's why everyone said that the season's horrible. You got to look at it differently. Send him to Reading.
He's talking about Frost.
No, he's talking about Adhd.
No.
Yeah, well, he's not an Adhd fan.
No, don't send him to Reading. I will take him in Lehigh. I'll deal with him.
Well, you need it. Well, you need him there. I mean, you need someone there. I mean, you got all these guys. I mean, it all depends on what they do. So if they Chuck Fletcher already said, whatever the coach is going to happen, whenever that happens, he's going to be trading people for picks. He's getting his picks back for the draft. So before the draft, you're going to start seeing some things happen really, really quick with the Flyers. But it depends on what they are. So if they get what they need, veteranship, and they keep what they need to keep. We need to link up, bud. Me and you were on the right path there. We're on the same path. Yeah, I think you need to find out what vets they're keeping. I honestly think they're keeping Thompson. I would love for them to keep Yandel. Anyone that disagrees with me, it's just they're going to keep him. If he hasn't announced his retirement yet, he's not going to. I mean, why wouldn't he? Getzlav did it. I know the minus.
I'm okay with Yandel walking.
He can walk, but he's not gonna. I honestly think Hayes' culture is in full effect right now. I think Kevin Hayes may actually be the captain of the team after this coming season. I don't think they have a captain this year.
Listen, Hayes.
I was thinking Coots.
Nah, you gotta be on ice. You gotta be on ice to be the captain.
Hayes just lost a lot of his female fan base after the other day. So.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm still his fan, but
I get no comment.
All right, one last thing before we go into the Fedotov signing.
I have nothing. I literally have no comment on. He's not on the team anymore. I don't talk about Giroux.
Fair enough.
Oh, you can. Oh, don't stop. I won't stop you. You're good.
No, we're fine.
Really? You guys not fans?
I cried over Giroux once on the show. I'm not allowed to talk about him anymore.
Frankie probably cried his eyes out.
Probably cried for about 4 days.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. I get kicked off of a lot of Flyers groups because I don't know. There's a select few Flyers that I would still follow that aren't on the team, and I thought it was Flyers Nation, not the Panthers Nation. Too much.
All right, let's just move into Fedotov signing then.
All right.
Yeah.
So Ivan Fedotov was signed to a 1-year entry-level contract. From what I looked into, it was literally the only contract he actually could get signed into.
Yeah, he's too old to get the 2 or 3 year level deals. Deers.
The ELC is worth $1.1 million. From what I looked at on Cap Friendly. And I posted on Facebook.
Okay. I mean, that might be that's a little much in my eyes for an entry-level contract, but...
This is straight from Cap Friendly. It says, Ivan Fedotov is a 25-year-old goaltender who was born November 28th, 1996. He was drafted 188th overall by the Philadelphia Flyers in the 7th round of the 2015 entry draft. He has signed a 1 contract worth a total value of $1.1 million. He will be an RFA at the end of the 22-23 season when he is 26 years old. He is waivers exempt, and it says arbitration 1 additional pro year required.
He's got a 937 save percentage.
Yeah.
He did really well.
I told my dad how big he was, and I was like, "Yeah, he's 6'8". My dad goes, "That kid ain't missing a puck."
Well, with a .937, he did miss a couple.
Only a couple.
This is the goalie you need. Chuck said it the other day, and Anthony Verrasso from our show, he said I was in disbelief that they were going to go after him, and then the press conference came out, and I think it was Charlie O'Connor asked if they were going to go after him, and he said that they were legit in talks of how they were going to do it, and the next day they were signing him. So I mean, Jones is gone because that's literally what they said, that he was going to literally get the number 2 spot if they get him. They have him, so Jones is gone now.
We got a young goalie core right now,
and I think Ustimenko is either going to stay in Reading or he's gone.
I feel bad for those guys. They just can't get over the hump.
Well, Ustimenko, first of all, he missed the year because of torn hip labrum, and then he couldn't get over the injury, and then he had another core injury this year where he missed the rest of the season. So I was never sold on Usti. So
yeah, the one game I went with you, I learned that real quick.
And that's coming from someone who loves goalies. So
you do love your goalies, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, I don't have too much stock in a lot of the maybe Nagel, maybe Pat Nagel. Is he still down there?
He's playing in Reading right now for the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy because after the Flyers, it sounds like the goalie core in the lower leagues kind of. Yeah, I mean, it's just they have issues.
I'm okay with this comment.
I like this comment.
Fedotov next year wins the backup role, plays well, and actually puts his heart, which makes him play better. So Fedotov gets signed, and both goalies play well.
Or again, Anthony, you should have got it. I wish Anthony Cook came on. He had so many good points this week. But they're too good to not say. I'll give him credit for it. But yeah, he was saying maybe Fedotov comes in, and then he eventually gets pushed into the starting spot, and then they get rid of Hart.
But here's my thing.
That's a possibility too.
What are we gonna do with Sandstrom?
I don't think he's horrible. I mean,
third string.
Another
Sam doesn't like that one.
Another.
Keeping him in the AHL is doing him it's doing him no good.
Well, I mean, he didn't blow the doors off anything playing up here. So I mean, you got a bad case of the Alex Lyons right now. They can't get no goalie down there that we've seen can get over the hump of the NHL AHL. And the fact that they've been going back and forth between the ECHL and the AHL it's not a good look. I mean, and that was the point of if they did get rid of Hart, so who was going to be, regardless of whether Fedotov pushes Hart out completely, so who's going to be the backup then? So that just raises another issue. There's always a goalie issue.
Yeah. I mean, we do have 2 goalies that are in the pipeline, but they're nowhere near ready to come over yet. Matej Tomek and Kolosov.
Anthony said that today. He's gonna bring his goalie coach with him. Yeah, I like that.
Chris and Jesse really need to link up. They have a lot of the same thoughts right now. It's kind of scary. Are you sure you're not typing on CEV Network?
I've never even met the guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. Is that Chris Lahiff?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've met him yet. I keep to myself.
No, It's kind of scary how much you two are agreeing right now. I've never seen two people agree more than you
He's
two.
probably
right
the
now.
same age as me. He's probably as tired. He probably has the same amount of knowledge I do and is as tired as I am.
Yeah, no, he does a lot of all Philly sports, so he definitely knows a lot.
I'm learning. I'm learning about the rest of Philly sports now.
He's a little bit pissed off with the Phillies right now and the Sixers.
And the Eagles. Well, maybe not the Eagles, because they actually had a really good draft.
Yeah.
But basically any Philly team, other than Union, because nobody cares about the Union.
I'm actually looking for a Union show on the network.
Well,
I don't care about it, but people
if
like
you
it.
find one, let me know. I want to be on there. I love my Union.
Get a hold of the Sons of Ben, get them on there.
Yeah. But I think Fedotov's going to be a good signing. I have high hopes, but usually when I have high hopes in a Philly team, it tends to crash and burn. But
I'm going to call you out for a quick second. No, you said to me in the group chat this week, oh, wait a second, just because Sam believes in him, he's going to be, what was this, a bust?
Well, that's because I have to trash on you. It's literally in our contract for this podcast that we never signed, that we never wrote up, that we never said anything about. It's literally in it. Jesse.
Yeah, I think Fedotov will be good.
In all actuality, I do think Fedotov will be good. He's got size, he has skill, and he has the stats to prove that he can be a good goalie. So we'll see what happens next year. That's
definitely see. It's going to be
that's a lot of the things that I say tend to be. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But like whether or not I have high hopes or low hopes, we'll see what happens. But I think Fedotov can be really good for this organization.
We shall see.
All right. We got anything else about the goalies, coaches, Sam Morin?
Dumping on Sam anymore. Jesse likes to
Good
do
luck.
that a little bit.
Who? Dump on Sam Moore? Me?
No, me. Dump on Sam more.
I was like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? That was my boy. I love Tyrell Goldborn. So I can't believe we got rid of him. That made me upset.
He is still very well loved in Lehigh Valley. People talk about him nonstop.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the next Broad Street bully.
Him, Sam Morin. People still talk about TJ Brennan. I mean, TJ wasn't really a fighter, but
Never you love.
I'll always have love for TJ. I mean, just like the team from 5 years ago that went to playoffs, people still talk about that team.
Yeah, well, now we need to get the Flyers to the playoffs and get out of the second round.
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't see that happening in the next couple of years. I mean, I don't know, just the complete 180 that happened this year. You never know. It could be a complete 180 next year too, but I think there's still a lot of moves to come within the next few years before they even think about a second round playoff spot.
You know, when I was serving yesterday, I served a regular. He brought his mom in for Mother's Day, and his mom was asking him how the Flyers did this season, and he knew I was a Flyers fan. And I just looked at her, and I went and got her mimosa for her. And he's like, Mom, we won 23 games out of 82. And she's like, is that bad? I was like, just drink your mimosa, Mom. Just drink your mimosa.
That just made the whole season sound that much worse.
So
I think honestly, us on Flyers Alley, we do. Wade might not, because Wade doesn't agree with most of the stuff that we talk about. if they do the right things in the off season, they could be successful this season coming up. They have to do the right things, and they have to spend money.
And they have to stay healthy.
They do have to stay healthy, and it's the players that are hurt are the ones that make the difference. And you're not going to win a Stanley. You're not going to win. You're not going to do anything when it comes to Martin Jones. And it's just, I feel for the guy that he was not made for this city. But like, if they do the right things, Owen Tippett in a full season with us, that's going to be dirty. It's going to be dirty. So.
We're going to have to listen to our scouts.
That, and we need to draft goalies.
I love Jesse's facial expressions. I'm just looking at him anytime a comment's made.
I think something that we can all learn from the Pittsburgh. No, Wade, you're not getting Chick-fil-A. I don't like you that much.
Wade is addicted to Chick-fil-A. He drives like a half hour away. He lives like right around the corner from it. He drives.
I live a half an hour away from one. I think something we can all learn from the Pittsburgh situation right now is to always be drafting goalies.
Yeah, but you also run into the problem with that is I agree with you 100%. But I think the problem with the franchises that don't do that is because I feel like they're very well aware of weak draft classes. I mean, look at what number? When did he go? When did Fedotov go? That was low as hell.
188.
That's fucking insanity. Like, what do you mean? And he has a save percentage like that. Yeah, I mean, how many goalies are you seeing in like the first and second rounds that are like top guys? I mean,
not too many recently that I'm aware of.
And who are the how many franchise goalies are there left in this league? And if anybody says Tuukka Rask, I'll leave right now. Because he was like the literally.
He retired.
He was the worst. He was the worst of all time. He was as bad as Steve Mason.
Wait, you liked Steve Mason, didn't you?
I hated Steve Mason. My God, I hated Steve.
I thought you liked him. I'm sorry.
I was indifferent. He had his good years and bad years. Everybody always calls the plus-minus rating an empty stat, like a pointless stat.
It is.
This is the first year that I've paid attention to them.
To the plus-minus?
You can't pay attention to that. You just really can't because the players don't give a shit.
As long as they win games, they could have a minus 40 for all they care.
The only one of the rookies that started this year that didn't have a minus and plus minus was Noah Cates.
And he played like 12 games.
York was a minus. A lot of players were in the negatives. So I mean, I don't know. It isn't. You got to stay away from that.
Dana just texted me instead of commenting on the show and said Steve Mason used to be called Swiss Cheese Mason.
I mean, he did let up a easy puck in the playoffs right through the 5-hole from the halfway mark.
Steve Mason, I'm not even gonna I'm gonna get fired up. I don't want to do it. He was just that just shows the stats don't matter. Stats legit don't matter.
All right, here we'll switch it up a little bit again.
Player development is key. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we definitely need much better player development.
Well, the crazy thing is with these kids is the fact that like Noah Cates and Bobby Brink, they were in college, they were in like the playoffs, like they were doing substantial things when they weren't playing with us. So like they're accomplished kids. It's not like they're just some random kids that got drafted. Like they're good players. They're Team USA. They're all from the United States too. They're from Michigan and Minnesota. So like they're outstanding schools for hockey. So
yeah,
this isn't a fluke. You're going to see these kids really, really solidify here. And I actually the Flyers just dug their hooks into the Cates' younger brother too. So they're gonna have all the Kates in the Flyers franchise in the next
I'm okay with
few
that.
years. Oh yeah.
If he's anything like Noah Cates, I'm okay with that.
I will 100%. I will meet Jackson Cates this offseason. And I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna make it a point to run into Cam York because now I know he's staying in Voorhees this year. So
All right, I'm liking it.
Cam's great.
Yeah, when you're not muted.
It was Super Bowl Sunday, okay?
Hey, at least you talk in press conferences. I don't talk. I don't say anything. I don't have the balls yet.
One day.
I catch myself almost yelling at the media as I leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep credentials.
I was gonna say, yeah, you might not want to do that. All right, that was a great conversation. But
We still have a segment to go. We just gotta let Jesse go first.
yeah, are you you're not staying for this last segment, right?
Nah.
That's all right.
I'll leave for that. I'll leave it to the pros. I'm not equipped well enough for that conversation. But thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
We're gonna
I
have
appreciate
to
having you here.
we're gonna have to bring you on for we're gonna be doing Flyers Alley's done until the draft, and then after that we're done until probably like August. But we'll have to bring you on, give you a little taste of Flyers Alley's like.
That if you think it's
Me?
chaos with me and John, it's chaos over there.
But we're on time.
Okay.
But we're on time. We are on time.
I mean,
Not wait all.
I'll take it. I'll take anything I can get. Any more inside scoop? Like, I'm a busy kid, so anytime I can get a little bit more of an inside scoop and catch everything, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let me know. We'll bring you on.
All right, bet. I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's do it. We'll be in touch.
Cool. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely.
See you guys.
Bye.
Have a good one. All right. Final segment. Mental health. Sam, this was a huge thing for you.
Oh, my
So
turn.
I figured I would let you start this one off.
All right. Well, it is May. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, so I figured it. With it being like the last regular episode we do, we should touch on it. You know, mental health's a pretty big thing for me. I myself was diagnosed with bipolar 2 in January. Sorry.
You're good.
But there are quite a few players in the league that battle like a multitude of various things, including Nate Thompson, our very own Flyer. And I did write an article a few months ago. I think it was like a month and a half ago. I don't even remember at this point.
Yeah, you kind of number crunch those articles there at the end.
Yeah, I'm at 13. I was trying so hard, but Jamie told me not to kill myself, so I didn't. So, you know, I know Robin Lehner is hated, but I got to touch on him because he is part of the bipolar community. He suffers with bipolar 1, which is the mania side. Mania. People with bipolar 1 suffer the manic side, which is the more upside, the more they suffer, the more they're in the hospital more, where they can't calm down, they have more cycles, whereas bipolar 2 have more depressive episodes. When I was diagnosed, my psychiatrist diagnosed me bipolar 2 rapid cycles, where I will have manic cycles and depressive cycles, and they will cycle each other really rapidly. Like I'm super open about it. I just had a manic cycle last week, and it lasted about 3 days. the most important thing for people to realize is that what you say to somebody who has a mental health issue is really important. It's in the manner that you say something. You cannot, you really have to think about what you say to somebody, because you never know what somebody else is going through. And that is super important. Robin Lehner has bipolar 1, ADHD, and PTSD, as well as an addiction issue. I don't know if anybody else really knew that. I know he stated that's one of the big things when it comes to both mental health, illness, and addiction. We're very good at suffering in silence, and we're good at going about our own business and trying to hide it. And we don't want anyone to see it, and it's going to affect your personal or your professional life and how people think about you. But in 2018, he paved a road in this community about opening up about mental health issues, and he did really pave a road for people to open up, and I do respect him for that, even though he can be quite a little bit of a jerk sometimes. Thank you for getting AV fired. I don't know if you remember Riley Sheahan. He's the Kraken center.
Okay.
So the Kraken picked him up. He's a center for them. And he took a little bit of a different approach to mental health. He has his own podcast called Speak Your Mind.
Okay.
His goal is just to help people feel better and to not feel like they're alone. And he's diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And these two diagnoses and drinking played a part in his arrest when he was 20 years old. So he was arrested as a young kid. He was also charged with providing police with false information and handing them the driver's license of a Grand Rapids teammate. So he was a little bit of a badass. When he was interviewed by NBC Sports, when he was first thinking about it, thinking that there was no way he could do the podcast. It was uncomfortable. And he thinks that was one of the reasons when he thought about why he wanted to do it, was because it was something different. And if he could get some guys to speak about it and tell their stories and maybe get a little following, and inspire some people to get help or face their inner demons, that was the end goal. And apparently the Panthers just got sent to OT. Thank you, Bleacher Report. The banners on Bleacher Report really ruin everything. And then Mr. Nate Thompson. So Nate Thompson has been around for what feels like forever. He's been in the NHL for 15 seasons. This will probably be his 16th season. He's 37.
Jeez.
He is old. He is old. But he is still killing it. And he wants to do more now than help people have wins on the ice. He wants to do more off the ice. And he's been sober for 5 years after battling an addiction in the early part of his pro career. As a result of becoming sober, Nate is a huge advocate for the mental health community. Taryn Hatcher interviewed him, and Nate said it's that old school mentality before where it's, I've got to be tough. I don't want to show any weakness. But if you're not weak, if you're trying to show courage and ask for help, that's not weak. I think it's just being able to be brave and come out with it. It can help other people. And if you're helping just one person, that's a win. And for Nate, he said it's just about being transparent with people. So I think it's just really important that some players, that players, they're regular people. They're not these celebrities that people think they are. Like, I think for working at the restaurant and being in the media and getting to know these guys, they're just regular people. They're not these celebrities everybody thinks they are. Like, maybe I'm just like immune to it now. I don't know. Like, it's just, they have their issues too. And especially because they're men, I think people are just like, Men don't have these issues. Men have mental health issues big time. Like my dad has clinical depression. Like, I mean, both my parents, maybe that's where I get it from. Men have mental health issues too, and it's not talked about enough. Women get all the attention, and we'll never know why that is. But I think the shift needs to be focused more on men.
I mean, I think the shift needs to be focused on everybody in general, not just gearing a little more towards men because they're not talked about as much. Mental health is just as important in women as it is men. But I do see where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to go against you in any way, shape, or form. But I feel really lucky in a way because I've never been diagnosed with any type of mental health issue or anything. But I do take it very seriously. Like, John hates when I self promo my stream on here, but I'm going to do it anyway. I am on my stream. I'm huge when it comes to mental health. If anybody ever comes into my stream and says, "Hey, I need to talk," I will be there to listen. Like, I don't care if you were there for 5 seconds. I don't care if you were in my stream for the year and a half that I've been streaming. Like, I will be there for you. I want you to let it out. Do anything you can that you think will help. Because I would rather see you come back the next day than not see you come back at all.
Yeah. And it's super important. And, some people don't have the resource of being able to go to therapy. But sometimes, just reaching out. I know Frankie is a huge advocate for NAMI, and there are the resources online. Like, just taking the time to do that little bit of research. And even if you do start therapy and you don't like the first therapist you work with, take the time and find a therapist that you like and you work with. I'm meeting with my third therapist in 4 months because, frankly, I didn't like the first two. I'm going to find a therapist. I'm going to keep going through therapists until I find one that I like. They wanted me to stay at my psychiatry office because for medication management, they wanted me to stay there until because they wanted me to stay on their therapy list. Their therapy list dates back until September. It's May 9th. They wanted me to stay there and wait for a therapist. I wasn't staying there and waiting for anything.
No, you can't. Mental health is something you need to take care of right away.
Thank you. And that's what I was trying to tell them. Like, I can't, medication isn't going to, I need to be able to talk to somebody. I need to be able to have a therapist that specializes in bipolar and not just sit here and wait for somebody to, like, September, that's nearly 9 months. That's a 9-month wait.
Yeah.
That's insanity. No, I'm not doing it. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, medication can help, but only to a certain extent.
Exactly.
Like, you're gonna need other methods, and I'm glad that you said no, I'm not waiting, and you found a place that was willing to take you in right away and help.
Yeah.
Because your mental health matters. Everybody's mental health matters. No matter how famous they are, how poor they are, how unknown they are, it doesn't matter. Your mental health matters. And it's not an easy thing. I'm trying to put the right words in my mouth right now. It's not an easy thing to talk about for the most part for a lot of people.
No, it's an uncomfortable topic. It really is.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people don't like to put the burden on others for what they're going through, but
can you bring that comment up from Wade?
Absolutely.
Delco just closed down the mental health care in Crozier Hospital. This is what I mean. Pennsylvania has like one of the highest rates of mental health issues in the United States. Yet Delaware County is shutting down mental health care.
Yeah, it needs to be focused on more. It really does. There are way too many mental health cases and issues out there for people to be shutting down mental health care in different hospitals and different areas and different counties. Like,
which is why, like, I'm glad we have somebody, you know, like Nate Thompson, who is an advocate for mental health, and like, you know, he's in the city, and I hope he stays here. And Nate, if you see this and you want to team up, just reach out. I run the social media. But you know, just the fact that they're closing down mental health care, but why? Like it that just blows my mind. When
yeah,
there's so many people that need the help.
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't be.
I mean, when I went to my psychiatry office, she said ever since COVID, it just went, she's like, it literally was like a volcano. It just went, ever since COVID happened, mental health has skyrocketed.
Well, a lot of people weren't really leaving their house, so that definitely doesn't help.
No.
Like, I was lucky to where I was still able to find the job where I'm out in the field, so I was able to get out of my house. But a lot of people, when COVID came around, were not able to do that. They were literally locked in their house 24/7 because they didn't want to, they didn't want to leave, and they really couldn't leave. There was nowhere they could go.
No, I mean,
like everywhere was closed down.
I was sent home. I was sent home to work March 27th, 2020, and I literally have not been back in an office since. I've been working from home for 2.5 years.
You need to go find an office somewhere.
I am trying. I'm trying. I need human interaction. That's why I serve. So I have some type of human interaction. That's why I go to the hockey game. So I have some type of human interaction. My dogs are not human interaction. They think they're humans, but they're not. Yeah. And the media have big scare on TV 24/7 didn't help either. Yeah, Wade, that's exactly right.
Yeah, we just need more out there, and we need a lot more awareness than what people actually know of.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm 3.5-ish months into my diagnosis, and I'm still, some days I accept it, some days I'm still very much in the denial stage. And I always knew there was something wrong, but like, we always thought it was like anxiety, depression, or just depression, or just anxiety. We literally tried every single depression and anxiety medication. Finally, I'm on a good regimen of medication, and it seems to be helping. So hopefully this is the answer. They tried putting me on a medication for like a week, 2 weeks, and I was just like, no. It was like making me like itch out of my skin. I was like, I need to go back. So, you know, if you feel like a medication's not working, you always have to call you. It's just trial and error. This is the fun part.
Yeah.
But yes, John had the audacity to play golf this week.
I'm gonna just.
Listen. I banged my head on the wall across it last week. I'm sorry. It was a wall ball. I didn't see where I was going and just went. I hit my head.
Shit happens. Don't worry about it.
I mean, but he did have great timing.
That was fantastic timing.
I got to give it to the kid.
I was laughing for like the next 5 minutes.
You were. And every comment I would put up, he didn't even, you guys just ignored.
I was too busy laughing. I couldn't read it. I was too busy laughing.
Jerks.
I'm sorry. It was funny. That was probably one of the funniest jokes he's had yet on this podcast.
Well, let's hope that something happens within the next 2 weeks so that we have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, well, we will definitely see, but since it'll still be Mental Health Awareness Month, I figured we could throw another segment in there. Just to kind of, if you need to talk about it a little bit more, if anybody in the comments needs to talk about anything that they're going through, if you're okay with that. Thank you, Wade. I appreciate you being here the whole time. And you have a good rest of your week, and hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks from now. But if anybody in the comments, needs to, if they're comfortable enough with letting anything go, like on the live show, you're more than welcome to. If you need us privately, you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle's on there. You can follow Sam on Twitter. Her Twitter's on there. I think that's your Twitter, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, her Twitter's on there. So, definitely, come and talk to us. We would love to help you any way you can. Absolutely. Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to it. We'll get in touch. We'll keep in contact, and I'll study a little bit more for when I go on your show, because I frankly did not study well enough for this one. I will not lie. I had a lot going on this week. I apologize. But we'll definitely have another mental health segment 2 weeks from now for you and for anybody in the comments that needs it. In that case, I guess we're good to close out the show.
Yeah,
22 minutes.
We're not doing that stupid sound that he puts up, and I'm not sitting here with my thumbs up looking like a creeper.
Fine. Next time we'll just moon the camera when all three of us are here. Thank you for watching episode 16 of the Pucking Flyers podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Pucking Flyers. Make sure you follow us on Instagram /Pucking Flyers. And go follow us on Anchor and Spotify, the Pucking Flyers podcast. I have to talk to John about getting the account information for the Anchor so I can post it, because he's not going to be available for another 4 days. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. So until next time, guys, which will be 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
So what day is that? Let me pull up my little calendar
23rd.
here. 23rd. Thank you. May 23rd will be our next episode. So until then, guys, stay safe out there. Please check on your friends. Please check on your family. Your mental health matters too. Reach out to somebody if you need the help. And we're not professionals, but we will be here to listen if you need it.
Yep.
So until next time, guys, stay safe. Peace out.